So we have seen about the acute diseases and this classification. Now the chronic diseases. జేబులో అందరికీ పెట్టాను లాల్చి కదా పడిపోతుంది. So this Hahnemann has identified this as again false chronic diseases and real chronic diseases. Two types. In the acute diseases, we have seen that there are three phases in the acute diseases. So the period of, in acute diseases, we have seen that there are three phases. The period of occurrence of the disease, and then the period of establishing or spreading of the disease, and then the period of receding. These three periods that we have seen in acute diseases. But in chronic diseases, we have only two phases. The first phase, that is the phase of contamination or infection, the phase of starting of the disease, and then the phase of spreading of the disease. But the phase of convalescence is not there in the chronic disease unless you make a very good effort. By itself, it has no phase of convalescence. For acute diseases, we have the third phase, but in the chronic diseases, the third phase is not there. So only the first two phases can be identified. That is what you have to remember. So what are the false chronic diseases? So the false chronic diseases are those which are generally understood as chronic diseases when they are complicated. Suppose there is a patient who is suffering from some fever and infection, and then we started the treatment, and it is not based according to the similarity and the selection and this, and then with the medication and more complicated. So when it prolongs for a long time, then generally we consider as chronic disease. But Hahnemann says this is not real chronic disease. These are only false chronic diseases which are generally considered as chronic diseases. A person who suffers for a long time from a disease, so that itself not is a chronic disease. The real chronic diseases are differently identified by Hahnemann. That is what we will study now. So now when a person happens to be treated and over-medicated, and due to over-medication other complications, if for a long time he gets into sickness, that comes under only false chronic disease. So the real chronic diseases are differently identified. That is our main part of our study now. The real chronic diseases. What are the real chronic diseases and how? What is their phenomenon? So the real chronic diseases when they occur, when they have entered into the constitution, how they have occurred, they are very subtle to be identified. They exist as the factors of susceptibility. So the real chronic diseases, they enter and occupy the constitution in the form of susceptibility. And because our constitution is made susceptible, due to this susceptibility, the constitution is prone to all sorts of infection. That is what Hahnemann has explained, that a person whose constitution is influenced by this susceptibility, so such person is made susceptible, he receives any sort of infections and any sort of disturbances which can influence his constitution very easily without any resistance. And this susceptibility is given a name by Hahnemann, and that name is what is called miasm. So when a miasm has occupied or influenced the constitution of a person, or rather, otherwise, when a constitution of a person is under the influence of a miasm, so this miasm makes his constitution prone to all sorts of infections and influences. That is what is explained by Hahnemann with so much of explanation and proof for this. And this miasm is explained by Hahnemann as the root of the prime cause for all the so-called diseases in the human constitution. Now, in the human constitution, the human race, we know that there are so many sorts of diseases from which the human fellow is suffering. The human being is suffering from so many types of diseases, innumerable types of diseases. But Hahnemann has proved that all these so-called diseases, whatever you identify, they are influencing, or they have entered into the human constitution because the constitution is made susceptible because of this miasm. So now we will study what is a miasm. That is so what Hahnemann calls real chronic disease is this miasm. This is the real disease. So this is the real actual disease, and unless you identify this real disease, unless we identify this, unless we know how to eliminate or counteract this real chronic disease, unless we do this, we cannot really make a complete cure in the true sense. That is what Hahnemann has explained. And this miasm cannot be localized, because you cannot, where can you locate this miasm? So you cannot locate the miasm in a material form in any part of the physical tissue, but the miasm exists in the constitution of the person in the form of distortions, especially in the functioning of mind. Distortions. The main distortion is in the mind, in the structure of mind of the person. So the human mind is the main base for these miasms. That is what is explained by Hahnemann. So Hahnemann has identified these miasms. Basically, the first miasm as psora, and basing on psora, you have the outcome or the onset of the other miasms, which is called psychosis, and then syphilis, and tuberculosis. This psora is called by him as the itch disease. Itch disease, itching.
That you cannot scratch.
So itch disease, by itch disease, if we think only it is physical, but it is not physical. Physical itch is only the result. So here, psora is called itch disease not just on the skin. If there is a sensation of itching on the skin, you can scratch out for some time and then you can feel amelioration by scratching. But it is not the itch on the physical body, it is itch on the mind. That is most dangerous. Your mind is kept always itching and itching on the mind. So that is why your mind is distorted. That is the problem. So what Hahnemann called itch disease is not just on the physical level, on the mental level of the mind. So that is why I told you, you cannot locate this, localize this on any part of the body. It is at the level of mind. Then it starts. So it starts distorting the mind constantly. Just like how if you have an allergic or something on the skin, constantly you scratch here, then you get itching here. You scratch here, then here. So how the body, how you get the itching and scratching. So just like that, it starts disturbing the mind. It creates a disturbing, itching type of disturbing on the mind. Then your mind starts acting according to this. So in many angles, not only in one, but constantly your mind is kept distorted and distorted by this. That is the basic disease. So what Hahnemann says is, when your constitution is influenced or infected by this miasm, then it makes your constitution susceptible to all sorts of influences. So the cause of the susceptibility is miasm. So unless you understand what is a miasm and the nature of the miasm, you have no solution or no answer for all the type of sickness of the human beings. And the miasm, when the miasm is there in the constitution, it keeps on producing many varieties of influences, because the manifestation, the miasm starts its distortion at the level of mind, and this distortion, the impact of this is transferred to down into the level of vital force and then manifested under the physical body in some form. And then when you use some medicine or something, some method to make this disappear, then you feel that you have cured the disease, but it is not cured. Because you only made to disappear one manifestation. So it has disappeared in this manifestation, then it will make a new face, and then you call, now it is a new disease. That is what happening in the medical science now. This is what Hahnemann has proved with so many proofs, and with great logical proofs he has proved this. Many times we say that we have cured some diseases, we have eliminated some diseases. So yes, we have eliminated some diseases, but now new diseases are coming. So now you say this is a new disease, we have to find a new vaccine or a new method to eliminate this disease. So for example, there was poliomyelitis. For example, there was smallpox, there was poliomyelitis, and now the medical science can claim that we have eradicated poliomyelitis completely because we have a vaccine, we have eliminated. So poliomyelitis is eliminated. So we have eliminated poliomyelitis, we have eliminated smallpox. Now there is no smallpox on the earth, no poliomyelitis. Okay. But now we have AIDS. More and more new diseases. There was no swine flu, there was no all these things. Now there are come new diseases. There are no new diseases, now new vaccines we have to invent. Whatever you may do, the reality, the truth is that the same miasm made certain expression as some disease which you called. So we have eliminated this. So it has withdrawn and then it made a new expression. Now you think that is a new disease. So every time this happens, there is a game. It is a game between the miasm and the medical science. We want to eliminate the disease, so it has withdrawn and it makes a new face. That is the problem. So therefore we have to reach the source. Where is the source for this? So the solution is, unless you reach the source of this, where is the source? Where is this fellow who is changing his faces? Always makes a new face. There are innumerable manifestations of the Sora and all these miasms. So unless we know about the miasms and how to counteract them, we cannot have a solution. That is what. So then, how this Sora got established, in which form and in which method, how it was established in the human constitutions, and how much of the human race is, how much percentage of the human race is now affected by these miasms, especially Sora. So when we study this and we more and more know about these miasms, then we will realize that now at present we can realize that maximum percentage of human race is affected by the miasms. That is why most of the human beings are prone to all sorts of disturbances and diseases of health. So we are fighting really with our medical effort and all this, we are fighting to fight out the disease and bring health, but it is not made possible because we are not reaching this aspect which is there inside, very deep in the constitution. So that is what we are going to study. So then, what is the basis, why and how these miasms have entered into human race? Hahnemann has proved that for many centuries and centuries, the human being, because of the ignorance, made a sort of suppression of certain things. What is this suppression? We must once again recollect what we have studied. Our vital force makes always a constant effort to keep our constitution in an ideal condition, and if any obstructing factors are there, within a short time the vital force tries to eliminate and push them out from the constitution to the surface. Any sort of obstructing factors, which we may call as toxins technically. So toxins means not only just on the physical level, that is where we have to understand properly. We only know toxic substance on the physical tissue, but the toxic substances which are considered as the blocking factors for the functioning of our various organs. This toxic substance not only on the physical, but before it is formed in the physical, it was there on the higher level. So the toxic substances are there right from the mental level. That is what we have to understand. In the form of distortion on the mental plane, then it starts, the toxic condition starts there, not on the physical body first. We know the toxic condition only in the physical, but before that, the toxic effect was there on the mental level, and this starts affecting the vital level, the vital force, and then the vital force very quickly makes an effort to push this into the physical plane, because if the vital force allows this toxic effect for a long time on the vital plane, then it brings death. It is dangerous because all the vital functions are blocked. So to save this danger of death, nature has provided such a function that from the center it is thrown to the circumference with a great force. So it is to be thrown, that is according to the law of nature, whatever is detrimental to the constitution, to the vital force especially, it is to be in a short time with much force, it is to be thrown to the outermost layer of the constitution. So first it is transferred from vital plane into the physical plane, and when once it is transferred into the physical plane, there also it should not be allowed, these toxins should not be allowed to stay in the internal organs. For example, lungs or heart or kidneys, these are all most important organs. So in a very short time, they are to be thrown to the surface organ, that is skin. So everything which blocks inside, according to the law of nature, it is thrown from center to circumference. So it is brought on the surface of the skin. So what you experience as itching and eruption on the skin is only the result of all this activity of the vital force to expel or to eliminate all these blocking factors, not to allow them to stay inside. So this is a wonderful phenomenon which the human being could not understand. So ultimately this is brought on the surface of the skin. So that is quite logical. It is the logic of nature to save us. If it is not pushed on the surface of the skin, what happens? This may block every vital organ. So that is what is happening. So what then happens when it comes on the skin? Then we are restless. The human being is ignorant. And there is scientific ignorance, not normal ignorance. This is considered to be a disease. So when you know this, you will realize that what you call a skin disease is not at all a disease. It is only the result of all this functioning of the vital force to throw out what is dangerous inside. So then, for many centuries, the human being made again and again an effort to suppress this from the surface. That is what we are doing since many centuries, not now. We invented more and more medicines because we are very restless. We want to have a very good appearance outside. Whatever may happen inside, outside we should appear very wonderful. That is the behavior of human being. We don't want to appear ugly. Okay. But if you don't want to appear ugly, you should try to eliminate the ugly thing inside. In your mind you are ugly. That is why it is coming ugly on the body. That you are not accepting this. When you get an ugly thought, ugly thought is creating a disturbance on that level, and that is transferred into vital and physical and coming on the skin. This we cannot understand. The poor human being.
We can understand, but we are not taught this.
Yes.
If everybody was taught this,
yes,
at least the Zurich people would not put cream on the skin.
So this suppression is the cause. So constant, repeated suppression with more stronger means. You see, you just observe. Sometime or other, almost everyone will get something eruption on the skin. Then when you apply something, make an application, it disappears. Then you feel it is cured. After some time again it appears either at that place or another place. That means that your vital force is making an effort again and again to save you. So, and again we make an effort to push it back inside. See, that is what is happening. Many times vital force makes an effort to bring this back to save us from danger. There are many proofs for this. For example, if you suppress eczema without a proper treatment from inside, if you suppress eczema from outside, after some time, then this will go into the lungs and then he gets into asthmatic and bronchial problems. There are many proofs for this. So this suppression, so whatever is disturbing there in the inner layers of core consciousness, they are brought, precipitated into the physical tissues, into the physical form, and then it is thrown out. All this is because of the activity of our vital force. That is one of the major activity of our vital force. Not only to maintain all the life activity, but also to defend our system. This is what is called the defense mechanism. So when our vital force is still in a good condition, it will be able to push this out very quickly. So whenever there is a disturbance on our mental level, every time this is brought out. So whenever there is any sort of eruption, it may be in the form of itching eruption, pustules, or in the form of any formations, warts, pimples, whatever, everything what you find which is coming out on the skin and surface, you must understand that this is due to the activity of our vital force to push out something which is not to be kept inside. That is the mechanism. That is the main aspect. Then how these miasms came into existence, that is what Hahnemann has proved, that when for a long time, repeatedly, when you suppress these substances which are to be thrown out, when you suppress them by applying stronger and stronger medication from outside directly to destroy them, they are not destroyed because it is coming from the source. So when you make this disappear on the surface, when completely you block this from coming out, then they are accumulated in the internal organs. So once again, the vital force has no alternative to save us from danger. It has to transform this from physical back into the mental. That is because you have changed the direction. The natural direction is from center to circumference to be thrown out. So with your wrong applications, you change the direction from circumference again to center. So then all this what is to be thrown out is transformed from the physical form into the vital and then into the mental. And then it is thrown to the mental level. When once it is thrown into the mental level, it is brought into the mental plane, then it is established as miasm. Then that is the birth of miasm in the human beings. And when once it is established as a miasm in the mental structure, then it does not leave the person. That is the danger. It will take all the control on our mind. It conditions our logic, our thinking, and our will and understanding, and everything is distorted in our life.
Ja, maybe a stupid question, but the planets, they also have influence on the...
That we will take later. This is too early for you to connect planets and these things. You are just in the beginning. Don't confuse yourself. First you have to understand this properly. So this makes the person, when miasm is established on the mental plane, then it makes the person susceptible. That is the main reason of susceptibility. Now you can understand why some persons are more susceptible, some are less susceptible. When all the persons are subjected to same conditions of living, why some are affected, some are not affected, some are more affected, some are less affected. What makes this difference in this? The susceptibility is because of the miasms. So the miasm when it is established in the constitution, in the mind of the person, then it interferes with every activity of the life of the person. The first thing what the miasm does is always it drives the mind always towards an activity which is against nature. That is most important to know. The miasm, when the miasm is established on the mental plane of the person, then it distorts the logic and then the higher plane also understanding. And so what happens is a proper understanding of the law of nature is distorted. That is why his activity, his behavior, how he acts will be against the law of nature. That is how the miasm makes the person susceptible. For example, so what you call as misbehavior? So this is most important. Misbehavior. So the behavior, the misbehavior is, this misbehavior you find mostly in the human being. That is the fun. In the other beings it is less, very less, almost very less. Only the human being. This misbehavior starts on the mental level. The origin of the misbehavior is on the mind. This is what we see as the stories in the scriptures. The stories in the scriptures, if you read these stories, the evil fellows, the devils and these and all these, the demons, devils, this is the story of ourselves, not story outside. The misbehavior at the level of mind. So the discrimination is distorted by the presence of miasm. The discrimination of the person is destroyed. That is the first attack of the miasm is on the discrimination. We will have no discrimination. When discrimination is destroyed, then we behave always in the wrong way. With our food, with our drink, with sex, with money, with everything, with every aspect of our life. We behave indiscriminately. This you can't see with the other beings in its creation. For example, you see any animal or a bird. You cannot influence a bird, but only human being can be influenced. You see, just an example. When we had our food, when we are hungry, we can take food. After having the food, lunch or dinner, then an old friend of ours came to visit us. And to please the friend again we want to eat. Can any animal does this? Can you influence any animal to do this? Not any, no animal, no dog, no donkey, no cow, no buffalo. Nobody will do it except the human fellow. Only when the animal is, only when he is hungry, then the animal will take food. Otherwise you cannot oblige the animal to take food when it is not hungry. Not for taste, not for any pleasing the other person. Because the food is tasty, can any animal be influenced to take more food? No. You can try. You can try to oblige any animal. You cannot convince. Or you show some gold or something to the animal. Say, I will present this to you if you eat more food. Doesn't care. It is only the human being. Only human being. That is why miasms are affecting only the human beings. Because we are accepting this. We have to accept our defeat. We think proud of being human beings. We feel that we are very high on the evolution, but in reality we are very low when compared to them. Because we are always afraid, concerned. The animals are not so much afraid like us. the fear and all these things. Who is very much afraid? Only the human being. About future, about everything.
And I think you must precise wild animals because she says my dog, yes.
Yes, the animals which are very near to human beings will behave like human beings. Animals which are natural living, because human beings are so wise, we can even disturb the animal kingdom with our presence. But even these animals which are so near to human beings, also only to a certain extent, but not really like human beings, they won't misbehave like human beings. So this indiscriminate misbehavior is there in the human beings. So that is because the miasm is established on the mental level. It distorts the mind. So the suppression of what is coming to the surface, that is the main cause of the existence of the miasms. That is what was proved in whatever form. Because this is the result, what is coming out as an itch on the surface is to be understood as the result of something which has disturbed your mind. This also he has proved with examples, with many examples. Suppose your mind happened to receive some shock due to some incident or what. Suppose you are insulted by other person, for example. Some other person have insulted you, insult. So then you feel your mind, at your mind you feel the insult, the impact of the insult. So actually you are gentle, you are good in your behavior, but the other person have insulted you. So you have received the impact of the insult on your mind. So if you are a person without a miasm, if you are a really healthy person, so now according to this, a healthy person means in its true sense who has no miasm. Suppose if you are not miasmatic, then what your reaction, you will only at that moment you will get some shock, but within a short time you feel okay, he has insulted, so it is his problem, so why should I, so you need not, this person will not think of any revenge or any retorting. He will just only for the moment, oh, why this fellow has insulted me. So this has a little shock. And in this person, where there is no miasmatic effect, this shock is very quickly, it is brought from the mental level to the lower level. So it means a little effect will be there, and this little effect will be transferred very quickly to the lower levels. So therefore, after a short time, his mind is clear, once again, normal, tranquil. If the person is already miasmatic, then there will be many types of reactions. Either he will be very angry and impulsive, like Nakshamka, what we are studying, or he may get depressed because he is helpless, he feels helpless, so depressed and for a long time destroys himself, or he may take this into his memory and wait for an opportunity to destroy the other person. So these are all various types of reactions for the incident if the person is miasmatic. If the person is non-miasmatic, then he just puts this back. He is not affected. He is not affected, and if any little shock which he received is immediately is immediately transferred and his mind is again tranquil. But a person who is already having miasmatic condition, he will have a reaction to this. So this reaction, what has happened to the incident, this makes a chain of action in his mind, and then this brings this, effect of the shock is again coming down into the vital level and then finally transferred into the physical level. So in a person who is non-miasmatic, all this thing happens within a very short time. So the next day he may get something on the skin and goes off. But for a miasmatic person, it takes a long time that it is brought and coming down and brought on the surface of the skin, because already he has this miasm. So therefore, for this person, all these shocks and all this what we receive on the mind, they are not brought on the surface of the skin very quickly, because we have already miasm and we have already suppressed several times and something is coming out. So therefore, in most of the cases, because now most of the persons are affected by the miasm, all these situations, shocks like this this is only one example which I told you. There are many examples. So in our daily life, how many times our mind is confronted with so many disturbances, and all these impressions and all these are received, and they keep disturbing our mind, and this disturbs our will and understanding. So our behavior is distorted, and all these things together makes it complicated, and so the miasm gets more and more stronger. That is what Hahnemann has proved in his study of these miasms. So such a person will be more and more susceptible to all the sorts of infections and external disturbances. So that is why many people are getting more and more sick in spite of so many medicines and all these things. So without making an effort to counteract this, there is no use of any sort of medication. That is what Hahnemann has shown. There are many good medicines, that is okay, but you have not eliminated the cause which is very deep in your consciousness. So unless you eliminate this prime cause, there is no use of all the medication and all these things. They may make only a temporary effect, but not really unless you eliminate this. So the human race was affected by this Sora because of the long period of suppression. And another aspect of this miasm is, when once the miasm is established in the person, the constitution of a person, that continues through generations. So the next generation inherits this invariably. The next generation cannot escape the inheritance of the miasm. So the children of these persons, so from the very birth they have received this inheritance. The susceptibility was inherited by the children of these people. So from the very beginning you can find the miasmatic behavior. The mind of this child already has received this, and as the child is growing, the behavior of the child also you can find this distortion. So the miasm is increasing. So the miasm, Hahnemann has proved that this miasm can go as inheritance for 7 generations. Up to 7 generations it will be going as inheritance, coming down. And if it is not, if the miasm is, if these factors are not eliminated until seventh generation, then the seventh generation is made sterile. No further generation will be there after this. That is according to the law of nature.
Each time seems to happen.
No. For 7 generations it allows. Because with every generation it is increasing. Growing stronger and stronger with every generation. So the nature allows up to 7 generations. Then it becomes much more. And then if it allows further to continue further, then the whole human race will be destroyed. So to prevent this destruction of the whole human race, nature stops this after 7th generation. That is what we can observe. And then, is it only by inheritance or is there any other possibility of getting the miasm? This also we have to know. Because miasm is the real disease. So this real disease which we are considering, the miasm, is it only by inheritance or by any other means that it can be infected to other person? Yes, there are other means also. Miasm can be infected by a disharmonious behavior on the mental level. That means when a person with miasm is there, so when the other person who is not still infected by this, so if this person behaves or thinks or behaves with this person in a disharmonious manner, then his constitution is made susceptible to receive this miasm as a contagion. So contagion of the miasm is on the mental level. So physical nearness is not only the criteria for this. So that is also very clearly explained. So any sort of, because mostly our emotional behavior is affected. So emotionally and in any sort because we have many transactions with many people, this we cannot avoid. As a human being, we cannot avoid our transactions and relationships. So in these relationships and transactions, especially on the mental level, when you have any disharmonious behavior, unnatural disharmonious behavior, then your constitution is prone to receive the infection of the miasm from one person to the other person. For example, when you hate a person very much, then you are susceptible to receive all those miasmatic effects which the other person whom you are hating. So when you hate the other person, you are the person who will lose. You are the person who is affected. I hate you, for example. If I hate you, you are not loser. But I am the loser because whatever defects are there on a mental level, I will receive this gradually without knowing. Because I have made a contact, a conscious contact with you. When I hate you, I am making a contact, a conscious contact, and in this contact I have a direct contact. Even physically you are far away, but still when I think of you, when I hate you, then I am making a contact. Because for a contact on the mental level, distance is not a bar. Distance is not an obstacle, not a criteria.
two questions.
Yes.
What about the positive interaction?
Positive interaction will not have all this. Positive interaction is healthy. When you are positive, then you are not prone, you are not susceptible. That is what is very clear. When you make a positive contact, harmonious, positive contact, then you are closed from all these infections.
And you're cleaning yourself at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
logic. But what about the direction of contagiousness? The tuberculinum can catch from Sora and the Sora not from tuberculinum because there's a hierarchy? Is that so?
Sora is the basic miasm. That is what we are going to study. Sora is the basic miasm.
So there is...
So first the Sora will be there, and the Sora makes the person to get into wrong or disharmonious behavior on all the levels. In the action, the thinking, and our thought is distorted, thinking is distorted, our logic is distorted, our action is distorted by Sora. So then we get into wrong action. When we get this wrong action again has its result, and it is added back to this. That is what is happening. That is how you have the other miasms coming up because of Sora. That is why Hahnemann explained that Sora is the basic miasm for all the other miasms. Because Sora makes the human being, it drives the human being into a wrong type of activity, first on the mental level of the mind, the thinking, and then automatically in the behavior. When you got a wrong thought, this is translated into your action. That is how your action is distorted. Examples from our daily life, in all these aspects, how you behave with food, with drink, with sex, with rest, with money, with your relationship with other persons. So in all these things, it is reflected in your daily life. It is not different from your daily life. That is where we have to observe ourselves. So the Sora, the existence of the miasm Sora in us is the result of either inheritance or suppression. So first, the prime occurrence of the Sora in the human constitutions is by suppression. That is what he has shown with great explanation. For a long time, human beings have suppressed this. So again and again we keep suppressing, that means Sora becomes more and more stronger.
Can that be in one human lifetime, or is that we talk about generations?
Oh, in several generations.
So not a baby born with Sora could not in one lifetime become tuberculinum, or can it vice versa?
The baby born, for example, a child born only with Sora can continue as Soric person for that life.
But in the same life becoming syphilis?
In the same life can also get into this. It depends upon the situation, how the reaction.
But the baby is born without the mental field, without just his psychics will be gradually built. So
But there are seeds. The seed.
seeds.
Yeah, because a child has everything what we have.
And if
As like a bud, because a bud, for example, is everything what there is in the flower.
But if some yogic kind of person took such a baby into his family, is it possible to clear Sora according to the right behavior from the very childhood?
Yes, and that is possible. For example, when the child is taken by a person who is above all this and who can
Who can
organize right behavior. So in the presence of such person, it is possible that the child can be brought up. And there also what Hahnemann has shown is, because when you have inherited a miasm, and when you make you keep your life very pure, you follow all the injunctions of the nature and you keep very pure with everything, then what happens is the sora which was, the miasm which was inherited will be only latent, it cannot be activated. It will not take an active phase in your life. But if it is not eliminated, because it can be eliminated either by a proper type of treatment, or it can be eliminated by a highly spiritual type of healing. That is possible.
So the seeds of the psora goes with you in the next life, or goes through you
Into next generation. So for example, I am having miasm, and my child who has inherited, and then from the very beginning we kept the child in very ideal conditions, to follow the nature and all these very ideal conditions. Then he has inherited miasm, but the miasm could not manifest, because it can manifest only when the conditions are congenial, when our action, thinking and all these things. So this stays latent. So the whole life, if you can maintain like this, in this life, for this generation, it can be latent, but it is not eliminated. But this can continue as inheritance to the next generation.
7th generation?
After 7 generations. So there are two aspects. One is a total elimination by a scientific way of treatment, or you can keep your everything pure and keep it latent, not manifested. You can do either. So by not allowing it to manifest in a particular generation, so this person can be healthy, because the miasm could not manifest itself. So he is not susceptible to other influences, because all the time he is keeping a very ideal condition about his mind, to keep his mind tranquil and all his habits and everything. But it is still latent in his consciousness. So this latent miasm, even though it has not manifested, but if it is not eliminated, when it is not eliminated, it will be inherited invariably by the next generation.
So if the person has this latent problem, then that must be discovered by a good spiritual homeopathic doctor, right? Because nobody else will be able, the person himself might not even know if it's latent there.
Yeah, but because when this type of explanation is not taken into consideration, then you will not know. Because that is what Master Jwalkul also explained in esoteric healing.
Are you some kind of high spiritual master? Can how to say, eliminate this from?
Yes, if you completely, totally make a surrender to the Master, then it is possible.
Even
If you allow it.
even if master eliminates from one constitution, his children can also get a miasm?
Before, if it is eliminated before you get your children, then it is possible.
But sanitization possible only if a child asks for elimination of all miasms.
Yes, if from the very beginning, from the very childhood, if that is in the presence of such a high spiritual person and with such a training, then gradually you will realize. When you realize, and then when we consciously make an effort to get rid of this miasm through your actions, and you are rectifying your behavior, your actions, and constantly, then it is possible. So that you can do only in the presence of, so a piece of iron can be magnified in the presence of a magnet only, otherwise not.
But masters all the time present.
Yes, they are always present. If we are ready, it is our readiness. So it is not, we are not so easily, we want to totally surrender, because that is what we can know ourselves whether we are totally making the surrender or not. That we can know by ourselves. There is no need that we can measure from outside. It depends upon how much spirit of surrender is there in us. That depends upon that. But Hahnemann has proved that this is possible through medicine. That is what he has shown. Since not everybody can do this, but Hahnemann has shown that the other alternative is through the medicinal substance in the potentized form. It is quite possible. That is what he has shown.
It's like mystic medicines in the naturopathy, yes?
And it is not a mystic medicine, but a medicine which is transformed into force. That is what is homeopathic medicine.
But Ayurveda also have the same, yes?
Yes, Ayurveda also. In Ayurvedic also. And the difference between when you compare these two sciences, homeopathic and Ayurvedic, homeopathic science can provide you to completely, it is possible to eradicate this miasm, but again, how can you prevent yourself from falling back into the miasm? That is provided by Ayurvedic science. That is not by medicine. With medicine, it is possible, it was proved by homeopathic science, that with medicine, it can be eliminated from the constitution. But this person, how can this person can prevent himself from falling back into this? That solution is there with the Ayurvedic science. And that is not just with medicine. That is by following that a type of routine in our daily life, which was very clearly given in every step by the Ayurvedic science. So when any person is ready to follow this, can protect himself from falling back into the influence of the miasm. That is what is shown by Ayurvedic science.
But Anetta, I have heard that there are homeopaths in the West that do not accept the concept of miasms.
Yes.
So therefore, that's a big problem.
Yes.
Because this treatment then just becomes superficial.
Yes.
Even in India, some
Yeah, in India also.
don't accept.
Not only in the West, even in India also, not all the homeopaths, because they can't go into the understanding of the higher levels of consciousness. That is the problem. Because unless we open ourselves to know the existence of the human being in the higher level of consciousness, we cannot know or accept these things. So not either in the West or in the East, wherever, not all the homeopaths, because it is not just enough if you are a homeopath, but you have to know this law of nature and then try to understand this, and then only it is possible. But there are many of them who have understood this. That is why they are able to bring this solution. That is, and Master Jwalakul said that this will be more and more possible by the end of this 21st century. That is what Master Jwalakul has indicated.
No, we won't say it.
It's because of the evaluation of the spiritual force?
Because the human beings, because they find no other solution, they have to follow the direction. That is why more and more people are going to understand this and accept and follow this. Because the generations that are coming now, they are more and more receptive for these things. Because the present, up to now, the human beings in all the fields, especially in the scientific field, they are still in a dogma. They are not open. Still dwelling in the dogmatic condition. So when it is open, then you can realize all these things. So this present generation who are children now, they are more and more coming with this openness, and they cross this dogmatic things, and then they will realize they are more evolved. That is what Master Jwalkul has explained.
There's also very strong efforts. Now, I don't know about in India, but in the West, to suppress the homeopathic medicine, to squeeze the homeopathic doctors every way.
That is because of fear.
Yes.
Not only homeopathic, but all the so-called alternative system, because that is the fear in the minds of those who produce the medicine, the industry, the medical industry. That they are afraid that they lose their power, because this is associated to the political power, because the medical industry has the political power on the governments, and they are afraid of losing their business. That is the only problem. But that cannot suppress this, because there are more and more. The more they try to suppress, the more it comes up.
Yeah, so they won't be able to hold this.
No, nobody can hold this, because a solution is needed for the human suffering, ultimately. So nothing can suppress this. It is only temporary. So what we have to do is, when we realize we go on working on this, not thinking of all this suppression. We don't care for that. So now it is time for us. We have taken much time. We have to